And we are live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Canadian Guy A here. Just give me a few minutes just to get myself all ready because I'm just a little bit behind today, and I apologize for that. So just give me 1 second. I edit my So, how's everyone doing today? I hope they're doing great. And I hope that you guys are going to be tuning in for this little interesting YouTube live stream. We're not going to be playing a game today. We are going to be going over how I make my Spyro content and how I get it to work. Here we go. This and tweet that. Go to Discord. Put that there. Go to here. Okay. So here we go. Let us get together and set this up. Hey everybody, how you doing? How's everyone doing today? So, this is obviously my my setup here. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over how I edit my videos for YouTube every day. Every single video that I use. First off, I use Adobe Premiere. However, there are other features that you can choose as well. There's another editing software called DaVinci Resolve. It's a fantastic program. There's a Sony Vegas free version and an Avid free version. So no longer is it that you can't afford one anymore. And what will the Spyro video be about? So this Spyro video we're actually going to be doing today is talking about the analysis that is going to be about the footage that we received yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, I suggest to go check that out so that you're not so lost. But we got some footage yesterday. So let's go to here. And right away, the program that I use to type out is very simple. Most people use the same program. It's called OpenOffice. And OpenOffice is just an open text editor with basic other stuff. But yes, all the stuff that you hear is me. I'm not ad-libbing. I am scripted. However, the thing is that I'm also adding in. So I'm adding in details. I'm adding in things as I'll be talking, I'll be recording, and as I'm recording, a thought will come in my head, and I'll add it that's not scripted, and then we go from there. So all I do is we go through here, and I've already typed up the script. Already started with that. From there, we move to Adobe Premiere, where we edit, do most of our work here. This is where we're going to do most of our work, is Adobe Premiere. You can actually start a 30-day free trial. So after this video, you can actually go and try it because I think it's 30 days. I think they allow. Then from there, when we finish that, we're going to be going to Photoshop, where I'm actually going to teach you how to make a good thumbnail, and I'm going to show you how it all works. Now this is going to be a long video. It's not just bing, bop, boop. Okay, there it is. Video finished. No, this is going to take a lot of time. So I just wanted to show you guys how I do it from end to end. The secret's exposed. Exactly, Jordan. So we're going to show you how we do the thumbnails, what I do for the thumbnails. There's Jordan Fringe right there as one of my thumbnails. I sent a joke to him. And then we'll go from there. So let's get right into it. So right away, we want to start a new project. So I always name my projects. I always give them a generic name. I don't give the most specific name. I just talk about what it is I want to talk about. So I'll say, so we'll call this video San Diego Comic-Con footage analysis. Then I go to my location. Every single one of my projects, every single one that I have ever done is here. From my old early stuff to today. So I actually made a 700 thank you for subscribers, but then I broke to 1,000 so quick. So we have all these different stuff, right? Cinder, and you can see some of the original names like Cinder and Reignited. That was one. Game Informer News Dump, Nork Booty Confirmed, Mechanizer's Intro, which I'm doing. Not Really Nestor, Outro 2018, got 2 of those. Pokemon Let's Go reaction, which was taken down. Ripto Revealed, etc, 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 etc. So I create a specific project file for each project. So this one we'll call San Diego Comic-Con footage analysis. And we select the folder, we click OK. How's the son? He's good. All right, so we start right away. We get into it. So here is everything. Here's your timeline. Here's your source, effect, audio mixer, metadata. Don't worry about this. I'll be going through everything. So before we even start, I am going to be live recording me doing my actual recording, and you're going to actually see. You're actually going to see me performing the script for the video that you're going to see tomorrow, which is this video. This video that you're seeing now will go live tomorrow. So everyone watching, you're literally seeing how the video is built from the ground up. So right away, the first thing we want to do is we want to right click, go to new item, and click a sequence. A sequence is where the footage actually gets placed. Now, for me, I personally edit at 1080p at 30 FPS. That is what I like editing at. That is one of my favorites is 30. I also like 23. I don't like editing in 60 because 60 is great for slow motion, but we go with 30 for now. And you can have your sequence name. I usually just go sequence because I usually only have one sequence unless I nest sequences, but then it names it differently. So we're just going to call this one, but we'll name it for this. There you go, Comic-Con project. We'll just call it that. Okay, so boom, here we go. Right away, we have 3 video tracks, which we can add as many as we like. We have 4 audio tracks, which once again, we can add as many as we like. We can layer and add stuff. And right before we even start dropping in footage, what I like doing is we record. Now, luckily, with Adobe Premiere, it's literally right here. See this little microphone thing right here? I can literally click it and it starts recording my audio. So you always want to test. So you click voiceover record, it counts down, and then boom. Oh. You can hear myself bounce back there. Let me turn that down a little bit. Sorry. So as you can see on the right side, you can actually see, you could visually see the actual VU meters, and I always gotta make sure to tap because I have a microphone on here and I have a microphone on my webcam, but I want to make sure that's coming from my Blue Yeti mic and not my garbage webcam. So the best way to test to make sure is to simply go. See, tapping the top of the mic. If I tap the top of the webcam, nothing. Right. So I'm going to hit spacebar to end the recording. So there we go. And you can actually see the wavelengths right away. You can see. Okay. So I am going to actually, YouTube can't, yeah, pretty much. So we're going to start right away with actually recording the script. Now you guys are about to see what I go through. You're going to see my flub ups. You're going to see my screw ups. You're going to see me slow down and pace. And then you're actually going to see me actually cut those out. Because the key thing to all video is audio. If you don't have audio, you don't have video. And it sounds weird, but trust me. Just trust me. You need to make sure that you are dictating your video through audio format. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything done correctly. So, all you got to do, click voiceover record. Wait. There's one more thing. Let me end that. And as you can see here on the left side, you can actually see the audio being thrown in. So let's say I accidentally delete it. I can actually grab the old video that I just deleted and put it back in. But I don't want them because it's just me explaining. So, when you, what settings do you like to use on the mic's dials? I go on the lowest gain because I'm a boombox for voice, and I go with the heart cardioid. So, when I start recording, I wait 10 seconds, not making a sound. I don't say a word for 10 seconds, and then I start. So, I'm going to hit record, and you're going to hear me be dead silent, or as silent as I can be for 10 seconds. You're going to be wondering why, and then I'm going to start the script. So here we go. I'm going to pull up the script, and then I'm going to click record, and then be silent for 10 seconds, and then I will explain after why you do this. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, that's long enough. Okay. So let's start recording. Here we go. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out. What's up, guys? Comedian Guy here, and yesterday, or the day... see, there's a mistake there because I scripted this earlier today. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and the other day, the footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. Some of the footage has been seen and leaked before, but it was through a handheld camera. But as I was going through it, there were some details that I noticed. So right off the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine, NWDN Shadowclaw, pointed out. When they were showing off Spyroscope and how it worked, in the top left corner, it says the project file name, and the project is called Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was disguised as Falcon McBob. When we looked at the Voice Actors Guild on their website, we saw that there was a project under Activision's banner called Falcon. So, the project file that's been used is something small, but really cool to think back to. The next thing I wanted to point out was Trondor. See how he's got these scars, a knife, a big rack of teeth, and other miscellaneous weaponry? Well, it was said that the dragons in the Artisan's world would be artists. So we can assume that in the Peacekeepers, they will be fighters and warriors. So Trondo is now what seems to be something similar to a battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually really awesome reference. Which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro is that he better watch his back, referring to Dr. Shump. Now assassins attack from the shadows and strike when the person least expects it. So attacking from the back is common practice for an assassin. I just find it awesome that Toys for Bob is paying attention to these little details. The next detail I noticed was the weapons that the Norks are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbusses. Now, I already see where this conversation is going. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get sensors? Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get censored and these don't? Well, it's kind of simple. It's kind of simple to see the difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old single-fire shotgun from the 1800s that the pirates used. But in any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard some of the complaints about censorship, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. Now, here we see what is a very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, though, because at least we can see that it's there. I'm going to retry that. Now, here we see what is a very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight power-up right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power-up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and bland because it had no particle effects at all. But now, we can see that particle effects galore have been added and jammed into the power. But now we can see that particle effects galore has been jammed onto the power-up effects, and it looks really good. Now the next little detail I noticed here is that there is an NPC here with a green orb above their head. Now we can of course assume that this means that this is a mission where you can get an orb. But there might be a marker. But this might be a marker where it tells you already got the orb from this mission, which I think is actually neat, because there were a few times where you would revisit a world to get a few gems, you redo a gem challenge, and only to realize you already got it. I'm not sure if that's a feature or not, but I think it would be cool. The next detail I noticed is that the little gem cutter here says something a tad different from before. See, in the classic game, you actually had to hold the triangle button to aim. But now, it's telling you to just press it, which could mean a slight control scheme change. Instead of having to hold the triangle button, you just tap it, which I am cool with, and you likely will just have to tap it again to toggle back. The last detail I noticed is the big mamas back here, right by their pots. And they still look ugly as ever. Anyway, guys, that's all the details that I noticed. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra. I'm sorry, guys, there was an echo. I understand there was an echo. Thank you, Taserfication, for the awesome... Thank you so much, Taserfication, for the awesome donation. I know there was an echo. That's the only way that I can record. Not that I hear myself. I can't hear myself. But the fact of the matter is that unfortunately that's how you can do it. So like, listen, I can't hear the echo myself. But listen, when you play it back, I'll be quiet. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, and yesterday or the day, oh, see, there's a mistake there. So I can't do it once that this is done, you won't be able to hear the echo. So right away we have what seems to be, so if I hit A, that is select all. Hey, Nico Kitty, buy yourself an ice cream or something. I will. Thank you so much for your 20. I don't know what that is. I really apologize. But thank you so much for it anyway. I'm assuming that, whatever. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay. So when you hit A... No, but I can't hear it. I can't hear the echo. You guys can. That's just the recorder. That's just the recorder. Yeah. That's just the recorder. The recorder is catching that, but I can't hear it. So, let's pull this back. So, this video is 5 minutes and 43 seconds. After I include the intro, the outro, and any of the spaces, this video is likely going to be... Actually, I didn't mess up too much in this video. I messed up a few times. So, I think that we're actually going to be hitting close to around this mark, around 5:45 to 6 minutes once everything is done. So, I like the reddish hat. Thank you. So, right away, remember how... I'm going to play something for you guys. I'm going to hit play at a random spot here, and I want you to Swedish krona. Thank you. So listen very carefully. If you listen, you can actually hear the background noise. It's very faint, but you can listen. So take a listen. Now here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but you can hear it when I hit play here, especially, let me zoom in here. So if I zoom in here, you can actually hear, especially if you turn it up. Now, once again, so you can see on the VU meter here, that little fuzz, right? Right? So, that little hiss, I don't like that. I never have liked that. So, remember how I said record for 10 seconds? Well, if you get Adobe, here's the... Hit mute by mistake. Here is the awesome part. You can right click your audio and click Edit Clip in Adobe Audition. And Adobe Audition is Adobe's audio editor. So you click that. It saves, and it actually opens Adobe Audition like that and puts your audio clip immediately in there. And just to show you guys, take a listen. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out, right? So that is the actual footage. It's right here. It's extracted. Remember how I said the 10 seconds? Well, watch this. You go to the start, and you actually, up here, you can drag this here, and you can zoom in. Remember how I was utterly dead quiet for 10 seconds? Watch this. So, just so you guys can remember. What that is that I am quite literally legit quiet and dead for a specific reason. I'm going to left click and drag all of this, all of the moments where I was quiet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Effect, Noise Reduction, Capture Noise Print. What I am doing is I am telling Adobe Audition, you see this? I want you to remember this section that I'm selecting. So I'm literally selecting the silent section. I click OK. I then unclick it and reselect the whole track. I go back, I click Noise Reduction and Restoration and Noise Reduction. What I am literally doing is I have selected that entire area, and I am telling Adobe Audition, I want you to take that whole section that I just selected and remove it from the rest of the whole audio that I just sent you. So, I'm telling it, I don't like that noise. Please remove it. So you click Apply. It goes through, and look, when I play it back, look in the VR. Aqua Melody said, hey, I remember sending you a packing. I'm almost done. I made you some stickers and buttons of your logo. I want to finish my Spyro print before I send it off, though. Thank you so much for both sending me something and for donating. Thank you so much for the $1 donation. But listen, if you're hearing anything, that's from my room. You can literally see the levels. You can't see anything. Nothing. So, if I expand this out, even down here, you can't hear anything. Now, here we see what is a very, but it doesn't affect my actual volume. Now, exactly, Brunsy, it's pretty much saying a thumbprint. Once I'm done with that, you're like, yep, I'm happy with that. I go here, and I click File, and I click Save. That's it. I click Save. That's it. I'm done. When I exit off Audition, it will actually update this. And it's updated already. It's already updated. There, see? And done. Updated. And now look, remember how I said that you can't see anything on the meters over here to your right? Look, nothing. Dead silence. Dead silence. Dead silence. And then when we hit, uh-oh. Once in a while we get this bug. Okay, so we got a bug. We have to reboot Adobe Audition. So what happens is sometimes once in a while it will bug out and it doesn't generate the file correctly, and you actually have to reboot Adobe. This actually does rarely happens. That's weird. That's fine though. We shall reboot it. Doesn't take long. Thank you, Spyro Fanbase. So, footage analysis, reopen it. Sometimes every program messes up. See, we're back. Now, one of the things that you guys may know or see is that I am a loud, booming person. I'm very loud. And if you look to the VU meters to your right, you see things going into what's called the red. And what the red means is really overmodulated. It's really loud. So listen, what's up guys? Canadian Guy here. And see here how it's... So what I do is I select the whole audio clip and I go into something up here to the left that's called Effect Controls. You click that and it goes by decibels and doesn't go by a certain like volume. And 0 decibels is the 0 decibels is like the moot, like nothing added, nothing removed. And I usually go with a -2. So what it says, I'm taking it down 2 decibels, so that there we go. So we go here. So -2. And now, when I play it back, you'll see it's still loud and booming like me, but it's not over the top. Thank you. Also, congrats on 11,000 subscribers. Thank you. So, what's up, guys? Canadian Guy here. And the other day, the footage from the -2, all it does is that make sure it doesn't hit that point where you're not hearing your voice, or it's not allowing your voice to pitch past over modulation. It's just right there. It hits there, boom. Right there. So now it's time. To go through and actually record. Now fix. So remember that 10 seconds, and then remember this bit here. All right, that's long enough. Okay, so we remove that. We go here. And we say, and goodbye. Done. Removed. That's it. Select the whole track and pull it back to the original. So, I have something mapped on my keys where I love, and this is something that's fantastic for audio editors or people who are audio savvy or editing savvy. When I hit C, I have something called a cut tool. Now, that's very standard in all editing. You click this, you click that, you click your selection tool, you click that and you remove it, and done, gone. That's the basic tool of all editors. If you don't have a cut tool, you don't have an editor. So, but one of the things that I love is that if I want to, because I love everything being pixel frame perfect, I can select my track, and I have it set up here where I can literally go frame by frame, the smallest increment you can edit in footage wise, frame by frame. So I can be like, I want this 2 frames forward, 1, 2. There we go. And it's so small, but remember, everything is in the details. If you want to be a good editor or a good YouTuber, everything's in the details. So let's undo all that. Also, your undo tool, literally your lifesaver. And I accidentally undid too much. That's okay. You can bring all that back. No problem. What little details? There we go. So we will retrim that. So this is the playhead here. The playhead here allows you, hey Gabby, the playhead here allows you to be like here. It's what actually plays. So when I see,
What
you see this
little
move,
details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out.
So now that the audio is in, what I like doing is I like bringing in some of my footage. So I right click and click import. So first thing I do is right here, we have the music that Mecha made for my channel. Now you guys always hear the music in the background for like the past, I don't know, the past, I don't know, 30 videos. Mecha made a beautiful remix of both Toasty, Stonehill, and Crash Bandicoot Warped. So some people are like, hey, is that Crash Bandicoot or is that Spyro? It's a remix of both that Mechanizer 8 made. So I'm just going to play it full volume for you guys so you can actually hear what it's like. So, yeah, Mechanizer did a fantastic job, and then later on, you get something. Now, Mecha always edits to, like, where it's hitting the max peak point, and I always have to tone it right down, like, negative, like, 28. So, but it's awesome. So, I always do that, and then later on in the song, and then later in the song, you get this. Mechanizer does a fantastic job. I could listen to that all day. Mecha did such a great job on that. So, and he's not in the chat yet. Oh my gosh, Mecha, you should be here because, bro, you should be getting more props. So anyway, that is my background music that I always use for my videos. Then we go to my YouTube. I have finished outputs, donations, so I can keep track of that. Footage, images, logos. That bass though, yeah, I know. So I go into what is called, where is my, it's called YouTube Assets, and I have something here that's called Intro, Outros, or Extros. So, intro, outro. So, you guys know. So, of course, Mecha made the music for this one, and Mechanizer Ray is fantastic. Great friend of mine, always making music for the channel. And of course, everyone's favorite that I get comments about every time, I'm so happy I get comments about, is my intro is preset, it's pre-built, and it's already ready. And then my outro, of course, and there's the outro. So you always put your pre-built stuff in, and then of course, as you guys, some of you may notice, the how did you make the intro? I simply made it within the editor. I took the audio and I took all different video clips and I literally just put it together, literally within Premiere. So then, the white silhouette guy lives on, the wee man. So, how did you make the logo model? I actually had that commissioned by someone named Wampagem on Twitter, or Harris, and I was inspired by Duploblock's design. So, next what we got is the footage. So you go in the footage, and I have Crash Bandicoot, League of Legends, memes, Overwatch, Spyro, and I have a whole bunch of stuff. You should not have the same organization as me, because I initially was really good, and then things started to go bad. So I have to reorganize all these things. Because if you're not organized right, there is a lot. There is a lot of footage here that I have not organized. So what we're doing is we're actually going to be editing the footage that I put together for yesterday's footage. So let's find it. So all in here, which is kind of funny. This is all videos I've been releasing, all of them. Angel of Anthema said $2.62. So what's the longest time you've spent editing a video? That depends. YouTube-wise or professional-wise? YouTube-wise, 4 days. This video will not take 4 days. Don't worry. However, I have spent 4 days editing a video. One video. Actually, no. What am I saying? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 1 week. 1 week is my... Sorry, not 2 weeks. 1 week is my longest one. The reason why it's the longest one is that was my Spyro theory video. That took so long. That was ridiculous. So let me just find here. What's your t-shirt? Oh, it's just Mario saying score. That's all. So the footage that I uploaded yesterday, here she is. Boom, shakalaka. Here she is. So I'm gonna be. I don't want the. Oh, whatever. So. Okay. So, I am simply grabbing the footage from here because it's all the footage that I need. I don't need to download the whole San Diego Comic-Con. I just need to download the footage here. So, there it is. It's in there. Now, what I also like doing is I sometimes like cutting to different things. So, here is... If I know... Aqua Melody donated $1.02. I love to make you some artsy stuff for channel. I would love for you to make artsy stuff for the channel. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. Taserfication, thank you for becoming a Patreon. I will have to check it out later, though, on what was given. Sorry, and by the way, I just do want to point out here, my Enter the Dragonfly video that I made is literally called EDT Remaster Nope. Anyway, let's go to Idle Springs 2, which, because I know that I mentioned about Idle Springs, I just gotta make sure that this
New
is
Spyro footage.
it already. No, that's not what I want. I did not want my version of that. Import. So let's go to YouTube, then we go to footage, we go through here, and what we need to look for to be sorted is we look for Idle Springs. Nothing results in your search. Awesome, that's what I needed. Footage, this is why. Then you go back to Spyro. Right, there you go. Spyro Reunited. No, that's not the one I wanted either. Spyro footage. Where is the footage of when? Okay, so I, for some reason, can... wait, is that it? No, that's not it. Where is it? To be sorted. There we go. Yeah, Spyro 12 minutes, Ripto's Rage. There it is. Okay. So this is the one where we did the interview. I don't edit in 60 FPS because it takes too much space. That's why. Because a video that's 400 megabytes is literally double. So I mentioned in my video talking about the... I gotta remember, or in my video I talk about this power-up here, right? So I talk about this power-up. So I want to include footage of this power-up to explain, because I talk about the other power-up. So let's start the not long, but the tedious process of I haven't got a penny to my name. I hope to amuse you for your work. Nothing more until I win the lottery. Well, thank you. I'm happy that you're here. So let's start the tedious working of audio editing. I always edit my audio first, and then we go to here. So let's go.
What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out.
And right away I cut. So what I do is I go into here. I usually do my intro first, place my intro. I look at my wavelengths, I see my audio literally ends right there. So if I take V, pull that back, we go like this, sounds like this.
What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out.
So right away. So what we do is I drag this back all the way to the beginning. And then I will grab my intro right here and put it here. And then
what little details and hints did we miss?
Now also, before I can do that, I know that the audio is a touch loud, so we go here and do -5. -5 decibels. So
what little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out.
How can I make my animation on my phone? That I don't know, and that is very difficult because you require a lot of stuff to make an animation to begin with, and something on your phone, you likely will not be able to do it. Now, for some tech-savvy people of my channel, there's something missing here, isn't there?
Let's find out.
There's something missing. There is something very much missing here. So if you guys know, I like having bars and tone as jokes or cuts. So if I cut away, I'll use a bars and tone. And by itself, bars and tone is incredibly annoying. Hey Tyrus, how you doing, man? Bars and tone by itself is incredibly annoying. So, ouch. That is incredibly annoying, and I hate it. It is terrible. So, but you guys know that I actually have a short things of bars and tone right away. So I have one extra frame here. I remove that. And then I bring this down to what's called 4 frames. Now, what is frames? Frames are the amount of literal pictures, because if you think about video, it's just moving picture. That's all video is moving pictures. And a frame is a part of a moving picture. One frame of a moving picture. There's 24 frames usually per second. 24 frames per second, or it depends on what you're editing in. I'm editing in 30 frames at 30 FPS. So that means that actually, yeah, I edit in 30 FPS. So that means that if I edit in 30 FPS, that means that is 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second. I always make my bars and tone 4 frames long. So we do this, and we do this. My bars and tone are always 4 frames long, unless for a joke or for some other reason. And then it sounds and looks like this.
What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out.
So I always use. So let's go to here. So now the intro has been sorted. Great. So now we take this, the audio that's here, and we pull it forward. So now we have to start going through and trimming the audio, trimming out the fat, trimming out the in my screw ups and my stutters. So we go through, we go and hit play.
What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and yesterday, or the day... Oh, see, there's a mistake there because
So I messed that up right away. So I just skip forward here, and I make sure that I am as close as possible. That's not what I want to do. That's slightly... That's better. Okay. So we zoom into here, and we're a little bit over. If you can see the little... That starts to... I'm removing that. I don't want to remove it. Hey, Rapunzel, how you doing? How was your live stream? I hope it was good. All right. So then we select a tool, once again, and we go back to... we don't want this entire thing because that's where I messed up. And then when we hit play right here...
What's up, guys? Canadian Guy...
Right? So, let's take all this. Grab this. Hey, Soul Gamer, how you doing? So we take this and shrink her a little bit. There we go. All right. So, let's take a listen.
What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and the other day, the footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. Some of the footage has been seen and leaked before, but it was through a handheld camera. But as I was going through it, there were some details that I noticed. So right off the hop, there was a small detail.
So, what I want to do here is, it's going great so far, Rapunzel. So I noticed I was going a little fast from transitioning here.
Details that I noticed.
So I want to take this audio clip and I just want to just nudge it forward a little bit. Just a little bit. So we want to go maybe 4 frames because you're going to hear like an end, and that's okay because the background music covers up some of these areas. So don't worry if it sounds like it's a blip. Don't worry because that blip gets covered up by the background noise.
Some details that I noticed. So right off the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine, NWDN Shadowclaw, pointed out. When they were showing up...
So I don't like the gap here. The gap here is too long, a little bit. That little minor gap, I think I'm going to want to reduce that by about 4 frames. So we're going to go out, 1, 2, out, cut, and then we're going to go about 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's cut all the way to when I start talking, but we cut about 7 frames out, 10 frames out, but let's add back on 1, 2, 3. Let's add 3 frames back.
DN Shadowclaw pointed out when they were showing off Spyro.
So once again, that blip that sounds like it goes off, the background music covers that up. That's why I love using it.
And how it worked. In the top left corner, it says the project file name, and the project is called Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was disguised as Falcon McBob. When we looked at the Voice Actors Guild on their website, we saw that there was a project under Activision's banner called Falcon. So, The project file that's been used is something small but really cool to think back to. The next thing I wanted to point out was Trondor. See how he's got these scars, a knife, a big rack of teeth, and other miscellaneous weaponry? Well, it was said that the dragons in the artisan's world would be artists. So we can assume that in the Peacekeepers, they will be fighters and warriors. So, Trondo is now what seems to be something similar to a battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually really awesome reference. Which is actually... So right away, I didn't like the way I said that, so that's why I repeated it. I didn't like that. So let's go back. Reference to ninjas, which is actually to ninjas. Ninjas cut. We got a bit. Angel says it's amazing how much time and effort goes into audio alone, never mind the rest of the video. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. So then we go back to here and we want to cut it here and we remove that. Because I noticed I was like, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. So we go like this. And as we can see, it might be a touch too fast, perhaps. So we're going to smidge it forward by an additional 2 frames. And it will sound like this. Which is a common reference to ninjas. Which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because, so now it actually sounds like as if I said it in one go. The tone's a bit different, but to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Now, what we want to do actually, and what I find is that whenever you're doing this minor audio detailing, you want to have, if you want to cut this as soon as possible and let the following line have that hiss. So you get something like this. Ninjas, which is actually a... It literally sounds like you said it in one go. Reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. You want your pause to be on the second clip, not the first. Because when you have it on the first, you get almost like a stutter. You guys heard that. It was a slight stutter. But if you trim it right to the wavelength of the first clip, and then have your pause of the audio on the second clip, if you can, do that because then it sounds... Yep. Common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro is that... I have a slight sniff there. He... Tip to Spyro. Trim. We want to have about 2 frames of that. Grab this, pull this back. Because his tip to Spyro is that he better watch his back, referring to Dr. Shemp. So, as you can see here, right away, like once again, I'll play it once again, you can hear, because his tip to Spyro is that he better watch his back, referring to Dr. Shemp. Now, Assassin's back... Now, once again, I had a mistake there. So, Dr. Shemp. Referring to Dr. Shemp. Cut. Go to here. And remove all this. Select tool. This select tool I love because it selects every clip from this point on. So if you ever want to be like, oh, I want a new clip be fit in between here, but I can't. I got to move everything. So you just grab everything, selects everything, and then you just go boop. And you have this tool called snapping, which most editors have, where all it does is just snap. I'm not controlling that, snap. But you can turn that off too for really precise editing. So, and snap. And then you got something that sounds like this, referring to Dr. Shemp. Now, assassins attack from the shadows and strike when the person least expects it. So attacking from the back is common practice for an assassin. I just find it awesome that Toys for Bob is paying attention to these little details. The next detail I noticed was the... Now, I let that pause there stay because I go into a new subject, so that's okay. If I'm in the middle of a subject or in the middle of a sentence and I pause, I will remove that. But if I end a sentence, there's a slight pause, that's great. The weapons that the Norks are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbusses. Now, I already see where this conversation is going. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get sensors? Why is it that the So once again, get it. So we cut straight at where the audio ends of the first clip. Remember, keep this rule in thought when you're doing audio editing. When the first clip ends,
cut it, and then go to where the next clip begins by adding a few frames to it so you can have that slight breath. The breath goes on the second clip, not the first. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor... See, you can't even tell. You can't even tell the difference. And that's... When you have smooth audio, you want to have smooth audio. Because even the little... And I see that with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos. When people are editing videos, you hear the... in between. And it's little details like that that make things different. It makes you better above everybody else. That's what you want to do. You want to be better. You want to improve. You want to stand out to everybody. If that's what you want to do. If you want YouTube to be your life, if you want YouTube to be your career, you need to be standing out, and everybody else is going, then you're going to want to be, you don't want to be, right? So you want to be able to make sure that your audio is good. I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get censored and these don't? Well, it's kind of simple. Is this new video coming through? Yes, it is. It's censored and these don't. So once again, we want to cut this right here. Then we go to here. Now this messed up here. And once again, same rule. Trim this, go here. Grab this, pull this back. Don't. Well, it's kind of simple. Censored and these don't. Well, it's kind of simple to see the difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old single. So a little bit of a pause here for the comma is a bit too long. Automatic. We go here. Go here. Bit of a too long of a pause. Automatic to an fully automatic to an old single fire shotgun from the 1800s that the pirates used. But in any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard some of the complaints about censorship, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. So once again, we go here. We will see. Done. So then we go here. Cut this. Now you can see there's a long pause here, and that's okay because it doesn't. Now here we see what is a very. It doesn't matter how long your pause is. It doesn't matter how long your pauses are. If you know how to audio edit, you can sound like that you're talking in one go. Very easy. Harbor. We will see. Now here we see. Now you can see that I think that that's a little too fast. We will see. Now, so let's go about 4 frames forward. Pull this back so that there's still a little bit of space for air there, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. Now, here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, though, because at least we can see that it's there. I'm going to retry that. Right, so... Now, here we see... Now, I didn't like my take on that. Now, here we see what is a very, very... So, all I do is I go back to here. Cut that. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Like, we will see. Now, here we see what is a... So, once again, a few frames. 1, 2, 3. Pull this back. There we go. We will see. Now, here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Cut, because I can already see that it's big. Big pause. Go here, here. This is the most boring part of editing a video, is the audio. The audio is grueling. But once you get it done, see, we're almost done. We're getting there. Once you're done the audio, then that's it. Then you go on to the fun part, which is video editing. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight. So once again, I flubbed that up. That's fine. Grab that. Grab this, pull this back, and shaboop. At least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight power-up right here.
Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power-up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and bland because it had no particle effects at all. But now, we can see that particle effects galore have been added and jammed into the power... But now, it had no particle effects at all. Now, you want at all, and the next line happens. So, especially because I take a deep breath here, at all. So, what I want to do is I don't want the right away. Thank you, Nix, and thank you so much. So then we want to go back to here, go here, boom, shakalaka, delete, grab, pull us back, and connect. Okay. It had no particle effects at all. But now we can see that particle effects galore has been jammed onto the power-up effects, and it looks really good. Cut. Go here, bang, bang. Go here, bang, bangity, bang, bang. We're almost done with the audio, which is really, yeah. Giving us agents a possibly better YouTube. Yes. Effects, and it looks really good. Now the next little detail I noticed here is that there is an NPC here with a green orb above their head. Now we can of course assume that this means that this is a mission where you can get an orb, but there might be a marker, but this might right once again orb for the breath. You can actually physically see on the wavelength here. You can hear me saying "buh" for orb. Buh. Right? So right before I do my breath, I want to cut that. But there might be a marker, and we know that that's... I think Spyro looks amazing. The reignited Spyro looks awesome. He doesn't look thin. He looks thick, and that's awesome. He's chubby, and I love it. I mean, if you're going to be eating sheep all day, you're going to be chubby. No matter how fast you are. Eating sheep all day, you're going to be chubby. Trust me. I would know. Where you can get an orb. But this might be a marker where... And you can also make it almost sound like it's almost one sentence, and I really like doing that. So you get something like, where you can get an orb. But this might be a marker where it tells you already got the orb from this mission, which I think is actually neat, because there were a few times where you would revisit a world to get a few gems, you redo a gem challenge, and only to realize you already got it. I'm not sure if that's a feature or not, but I think it would be cool. Once again, cut, boom, shakalaka. The next... Bang, 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 bang. Select all that, drag that back, and connect that. Or not, but I think it would be cool. The next detail I noticed is that the little gem cutter here says something a tad different from before. See, in the classic game, you actually had to hold the triangle button to aim. But now, it's telling you to just press it, which could mean a slight control scheme change. Instead of having to hold the triangle button, you just tap it, which I am cool with, and you likely will just have to tap it again to toggle back. The last detail I noticed is the big mamas back here right by their pots, and they still look ugly as ever. Anyway guys, that's all the details that I noticed. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra. Fun fact. Everyone always says, why do you say extra? Why do you say extra? It's an outro, right? No. Before I learned, the official term is actually outro or extra. It's actually extra. However, outro has been accepted as a term, but extra was actually the original term. So, and then we have my outro. So with the outro, we sit at just over 5 minutes. So here we go. Ugly as ever. Anyway, guys, that's all the details that I noticed. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra. Alright, thank you so much to Mecha for that outro. I was gushing on you earlier in the stream, so you can check that out later when this stream is archived. So, this is the audio layout to my video. So, intro has been put in,
outro has been put in, and now it's time to start actually editing. So, I'm going to show you my thought process for every single clip that I drop into this timeline. Every single one. Right? I will show you every single clip that I drop into this timeline. Now, before I continue, I got to grab something. That something is what? I gotta find the original Spyro footage that I used. Um, okay, so one of my favorite tools that I have is, let's say you want to download something. Well, you go like this. You click this tool. This tool that I use literally almost every day is called 4K Video Downloader. And I absolutely adore it. So what it is that you literally go on YouTube. Have you ever found the Spyro reference in your extra track? Yes, I have. So, what you do is that you type in, you go to find your YouTube video, whether it's a meme, whether it's a sound effect, whether it's a video, whether it's a commercial, whatever, and all you do is you click paste link on this. And you know what it does? It downloads the video for you automatically. You just choose your video format that you want, and it downloads. That's it. And then let's say you put the file away somewhere, and you're like, I'm gonna go do something else, and you come back and you can't find it. You're like, oh my gosh, where's my footage? Well, it's very simple. All you do is that you go to this 3 little dots in the right corner here. You click that. You click show in folder, and bazinga, there it is, right there. It tells you and even highlights for you. Here you go. There it is. So, Spyro Reignited Legends, because I want to be able to show some pieces of the actual panel for my opening statement. So, I drop that in. And it should be there. Where'd it go? There it is. Spyro Reignited Legend. So, drop that down. And then the exact same thing is called 4K YouTube to MP3. It's exactly the same thing, except it's for audio. So, if you want a sound effect, music, as you can see, I have a bunch of Spyro tracks here that I've used. So, let's drop this down. All right. Yeah, the memes. So then, let's go to the start here. Now, I'm going to show you my thought process to every clip I drop in. Here we go. Let's take a listen to what I say. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out. Okay, so if we are going to say, what little details have we missed? We want to show something that might have a detail in there that was missed. So that means that let's go here and let's go looking for something that has a little detail that we missed in a complete shot without a cut. So this little detail that I want to show is the money bags detail that we briefly see right there. So, I always have my intro in one clip, and I don't do 2 clips. So what I do is that I fast forward to right where I want close to end. I click out, which means, okay. And then I rewind a little bit, and I click I. I and O. I means in, O means out. So that means that out of this whole clip, from beginning to end, we have all this footage. But when I go I and O, what it does, it's selecting the part that I want. And I can literally left click and drag, and it drops all of that into here. Now, what it also brings, it brings both audio and video. But for this, I don't want that. I just want the video. I don't want the audio. So I can, if I want, I can go here. I can go here. I can right click it and say, go to footage, right click and say unlink, which means it's, because what happens if I move the audio, the video moves with it so that it stays synced. I have to right click and click unlink, then go to here and delete that, and it gets really, what's the editing called? This is called Adobe Premiere. Or I can literally go here and you see there's an audio, a waveform, and then there is a video. I can literally left click the video and pull it down and look, no audio. I don't have to deal with any headache of an audio. Yay! So then I know I want it to end there. I know that I want it to end right when we've passed money bags. So then I pull this back to here, and then we get this. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out. Right, so there was one detail that a lot of people missed, which was money bags. So something that I always like doing here is down here we have something called an effects panel. And in that panel, we have video transitions, video effects, audio transitions, and it goes in depth. We have, oh my gosh, we have channel, color correction, distort, immersive video. So there's a lot here. But don't worry. You just need to go to video transitions, dissolve, and across dissolve. It's so basic. You put it at the start of the video. It's so simple. It's so straightforward. All you do is you drop it right on top of the clip, and it does this. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out. It's such little details like that. All it does, it just adds a little shine, ding, to the footage. So, let's take all the... Now, here's the thing, too. And this is the thing that a lot of people get mistaken on. If I click V, which is the select tool, just the regular select video, select, I could left click this and I want to drag all my audio, but what happens is oh no, then that's off. Then I gotta drag all that. Oh, then I gotta drag all that. No. So, I do have an Adobe Creative Cloud, and I do pay for a license. However, there is a 30-day free trial. There is a tool that's called the Select All tool, where you literally click it and you see how it's got these double arrows. You click that and look, whoa, dude, it selects all of your stuff, so you don't have to drag each one at a time over. You just select it all, and therefore it keeps the timing and the gaps that I put before, because if I'm selecting one over and over and just snapping it to it, I lose my timing that I had before. And timing is so key to editing. It is literally like if there was one tool that you need to learn about editing, is after the cut tool, is how to time things. Things need to be timed. Like I said, let's look at my intro. Everything is timed. Mecha, we're going to be gushing on you a little bit. Mecha has this awesome beat at the beginning. You hear boom, 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 boom. And if you watch, every single time the camera cuts, there is a change. I cut to the beat to the audio. So listen. Watch the intro. On footage, let's find out. Boom, 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 boom. Always edit to time, because when you edit to time, you can then learn how to edit overall, because then when you can apply that to so many different things. So, you select all, and you drag it underneath. Now, I always have it finished, and then I say, what's up guys, Canadian Guy A here with the logo hanging, and then I fade into my next clip. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy. Too much of a delay. I want it to play there. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, and there we go. Who wrote that garbage? You wrote that garbage, and I love this garbage. That garbage is great. So now I want to take a listen as to what I say right away. The other day, the footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. Some of the footage has been seen and leaked before, but it was through a handheld camera. But as I was going through it, there were some details that... Okay, so I'll show you points of where to cut. So, here we go. The footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. We cut there. So let's go to the footage here. Let's go reignite a legend. So let's find a section, a decent spot here. So we'll go here.
You could, yeah, you would fade to the bigger polygons that were rotated, but to do it smoothly,
So we go that. We take just the footage. We'll drop it in there. Some of the footage.
What's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, and once I say, what's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, I then put the footage like that. But do I go like that? Nah, watch. Is this what my videos look like? What's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, and the other day, the footage... No, I don't do that. Once again, another simple cross dissolve. Cross dissolves are so... There's so many uses for cross dissolves, and a lot of people hate on them, but I love them. Because watch. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here, and the other day, the footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. Some of the footage trip in Ohio. So right when I start my next sentence, I want to cut then. In Ohio. Some of the footage... So then we want to cut. So some of the footage, so I can then go... I'm out of water. Crap. All right. So then we can go back to the panel footage here, and we can talk about the Spyro scope here. Some of us have already seen some low-res quality of this footage, but this is full out, grab the footage, and drop it in. So it's literally timed right when I change my sentences. Guy here, and the other day, the footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. Some of the footage has been seen and leaked before, but it was through a handheld camera. But as I was going through it, there were some details that I noticed. So right as I was going through it, there were some details that I noticed. So I want to fix the audio here. I do want to adjust that. Go here, grab that. Pull it back like that. Some details that I noticed. So then right when the audio cuts the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine, NWDN Shadowclaw, pointed out. When they were showing off... Okay. So Adobe Premiere. That is the name of the video. That's what I'm using, Amanda. Is Adobe Premiere. So that I noticed. So right off the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine... So I want to show off that detail that I was talking about. So right off the hop, so we're going to start show here. Ignited footage. If you want to check out the full panel, check it out in the link below. Grab this. Drop it in here. That I noticed. So right off the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine, NWDN Shadowclaw, pointed out. When they were showing off Spyro scope and how it worked in the top left corner, and how it worked in the... Right when I say in. So let's see here. Let's make sure that that footage goes that far. Yes, it does. So right off the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine, NWDN Shadowclaw, pointed out. When they were showing off Spyro scope and how it worked in the top left... Okay, so I want to go to the last frame. I use my arrow keys. Last frame. And this is where you get this. So we go like this. Export frame. And we're going to call this Falcon Game Thumb. Why are you doing this? Because I wanted to show. Grab this. Grab this. What this does is that it actually makes this Core i5 Intel. Oh yeah, don't worry, it will. Don't worry, it will. So see here? It made this little folder. What it did is it literally took a screenshot of it. A freeze frame. So watch. And how it worked. In the top left corner, it says the project file. So literally, I can drag this as much as I want because now it's an image. It's an image. Name. And the project is called... So what I do is I figure out the timing first, and then I do the camera move. Because I like saying Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back. Okay, so I'm going to put that back there. Put this down here. So worked in the top left. I go to the effect controls, and this is where we start getting complicated. So with this footage, I can actually play around with this. I can zoom in like that. I can move it around back and forth. I can click this and go if I want to. So but let's reset that. I want to zoom in and show what I'm talking about here. I don't like just
saying it. I like showing. That's the thing, is that with YouTube, you want to show. Not just say, you want to show. So, and how it worked in the top, I'm going to be doing something called a keyframe. So what a keyframe is you give a stat at one point and then a new stat at another point. And what happens is that the video takes in between and adds whatever it takes to get to one stat to another. So, here we go. You go position, which is the position, and scale. And then I want to see where I want to stop. Top left corner. Then I go my next keyframe and my next keyframe. So what I do is that I want this keyframe to be like this. But when I go to my next keyframe, I want to zoom in, and then I want to pull over, and then I want to pull up. So let's go a little bit closer, because you don't want to go too close. You don't want to enter Pixel Wonderland. Now you might be noticing here as to why when I move it, it gets blurry and then it gets clear again. Well, what it is that it renders it at a lower res, so that when you go to watch it, it's better. And then we go like this. There we go. It's a nice, clear thing. Falcon Game Preview Standalone. But when I pull my playhead back, we're back to where we were. So watch. Spyro and how it worked. In the top left corner, it says does this program work on an Intel Core i5? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Spyro and how it worked. In the top left corner, it says See, it looks blurry right now, but when I hit stop, so this is what it'll look like live. File name. And the project is called Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were... Okay, so I might say confused. I might do this. Type tool. I'll type it in, and I'll choose my font, which is a choice of two. I always either go Zoltier or Zoinks, and then I do this. Then I select that, and then I can literally go here. My fill is always, whenever I do text on screen, yellow, and I always have a stroke, make it black, and then increase it to whatever size I like, probably about there. Then I take my scale, like that. I know stroke is a little bit big, so I put that down, and then I will add a little bit of characteristic to it and add a slight rotation to it. Just a slight one, like that. So then we can take this, we can shift it around, and then we do this. And it becomes an actual clip on the track. So I have the thing background here, but then I have a layer on top, which is the actual text. So then you get this. Off Spyro and how it worked. In the top left corner, it says the project file name. And the project is called Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused. So I want to go, right when I say cut for confused, I want the question mark to go there. And then to end when the other video ends. So we get something like this. Out. When they were showing off Spyro and how it worked, in the top left corner, it says the project file name. And the project is called Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were in the veteran to this channel. But like that. So some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were... There we go. So now I want to go back. I want to go all the way back to when... What is a Canadian with detail? I don't know. So I want to go back to when we were doing detective work. Well, I've saved just about everything. We go to images. We go to Spyro. We go to Spyro either Twitter account. No, that's the footage that they dropped. We go to tweets and info. And looky here. We have all of these pieces of info from way back in the day. From way back in the day. So, Falcon McBob. How long is the stream? Until this video is over. That is how long the stream is. Until this video is over. You're seeing this video built from the ground up. Double click here and look. See? Falcon McBob from way back in the day. I've saved it all. I got it all. So we then want to drop this in. But you know what? You know what? I want to do something different. I want to do something a little bit different. I don't want to just cut. I want to do something a little bit funky. So let's do this.
Might be slightly confused unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were
all right, so
in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro.
Okay, so let's do something interesting. Let's go like this and pull this back. Let's take the position, just the position this time.
But back when we were in the
but back, so we want to end here, but let's do this. Let's do this. Now we hit play. Now watch what happens.
They're into this channel. But back when we were in the Spyro.
Whoops, wrong direction. Sorry, we want the last keyframe to end right here, and we want this keyframe to end here.
But back when we were in the Spyro Detective.
So that's really slow. Let's pull that back a little bit.
But back when we were in the Spyro.
A little bit more.
But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days.
So then what we want to do is let's go here. Let's add a cross dissolve on both of the bottom pieces of footage. Like that. Let's pull this forward. Pull this forward. So we get something like this.
Be slightly confused unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was the official.
So the official. So then we go with another keyframe. And then we go with another scale, and then we go with a scale this time because we want to zoom in.
The official Spyro.
Like this. Zoom in. Like that. Pull it up. Zoom in a bit more so we can remove that black edge. There we go. So we get something that looks like this.
Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was disguised as Falcon McBob. When we looked at the voice actors.
So there we go.
Falcon McBob. When we looked at the.
So now I want to do another thing from back in the day. We want to look at the Voice Actors Guild. Now I may not have that, but let's hope that I do. Let's hope that I do. Here we go. Project Falcon Snap. Here we go. Grab this. Put that. Now let's put this right here. Let's do something interesting. Let's grab this and pull this out and expand this out. Make sure it still says Falcon. Pull this over like that. Okay. So instead of this time it just cutting, let's do something neat. Let's go with an effect. Let's go to a video transition. And let's go with a slide. And let's go with a push. Let's go with a push. We click this button here and we push right. No, sorry. We'll go with this button here. And we push left. And then we actually want this pushed. Let's watch what happens.
The official Spyro account was disguised as Falcon McBob. When we looked at the voice.
Now that's a little slow. So let's speed this up a little bit.
As Falcon McBob. When we looked at the Voice Actors Guild on their website, we saw that there was a project under Activision's banner called Falcon. So, the project file that's been used is something small but really cool to think back to. The next under Activision's banner called Falcon.
So when I say so, when I refer back to this, let's go Command C, Command V, and then we just want to be back to, we just want to go back to this still, and we don't want this beginning keyframes because the beginning keyframe started off zoomed in. We don't want that. We just want this. So then we go back. We just want this still. We don't want any movement. So let's go to here, make that a dissolve, and put that there. So when I like doing a dissolve as a, okay, I was talking about something, went off course, went a little off course, and now let's go back. I usually do a fade.
But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was disguised as Falcon McBob.
Now actually, I'm going to do something different here. We're gonna actually have the footage stay on for the whole time,
this channel.
and then it
but
disappears.
Back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was
See, it's gone. You
disguised
can't even see it.
as Falcon McBob. When we looked at the Voice Actors Guild on their website, we saw that there was a project under Activision's banner called Falcon. So
that was too long, or not long enough.
Falcon. So the project file that's been used is something small but really cool to think back to.
So when I go to my next point, I usually cut.
Called Falcon. So the project file that's been used is something small but really cool to think back to. The next thing I wanted to point.
What program is this? This is Adobe Premiere. So we have our first minute edit, and editing takes a long time, guys. This is not wham, boom, bing, bing, zing, done. No, this takes a long time. This can take hours and hours and hours, but I want to show you guys just so you guys can see how in depth a video can go. And this is a short video. This is actually a relatively short video. This is not long to make. This is going to take me a little bit more, and then we'll be done. So thank you for everyone who's tuning in and staying with me. I really appreciate that. So let's continue. Let's say what I say.
Really cool to think back to. The next thing I wanted to point out was Trondor. See how he's got these scars, a knife, a big rack.
Now what's cool about this is I keep talking about Trondor. So what I can actually do is that instead of just being frozen, I can actually stay on the footage for a while. And just repeat it and loop it. So before we hit the fade, we get that. You go like, so then we grab this, we go like this.
Back to. The next thing I wanted to point out was Tron.
Now I want to just simply repeat this. That's all we want to do. We don't want anything crazy. We don't need any push-ins or pulls, really. Actually, we do need some. So let me see here.
In the artisan's world.
So pull this back. We're going to make sure that this is not quite as long. We're going to make this about 10 frames. Let's double check here. So remember that tool I used earlier where you can just adjust things by 1 frame at a time? There we go. Now it's timed.
In the artisan's world would be artists. So we can assume that in the Peacekeepers, they will be fighters and warriors.
So once again, like that. Then actually we go like this, make it 10 frames. And what it does that this allows me to put this on a loop.
He similar to a battle-torn assassin.
Oh, there was a
to a battle-torn assassin.
There we go.
Due to his one-handed blade.
Why is my phone going off? Who is texting me? Who dares text me? All right.
Similar to a battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninja.
Now, actually, when we say,
which is actually a
and having kunai, because he has kunai here.
Really awesome reference. Why?
So I want to show the fact that he has kunai. So I'm actually going to freeze frame that. We're going to go kunai freeze frame. All right. So then we go back to here, and we're actually going to drop it right on top of that, and then we're going to trim it to there. So now I know it's timed. So that when I do this,
actually a really awesome reference. Why?
So then what we want to do is that we want to, when I say kunai, for the freeze frame to happen on the kunai or right before kunai, and then zoom in on the kunai so that people understand what I'm talking about. Because I could just, everyone sees his scars, everyone sees his knives, but his knife, but no one sees, but maybe the kunai is a detail that a lot of people may not know. Some people know them as ninjas throwing knives or whatever, but the proper terminology is kunai. But if I zoom in on it, I can visually tell somebody, look, he has kunai, he has throwing knives, he literally has them. So this is what I do. So it'll fade.
Battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature. and having kunai. So having kunai is right on. Smaller stature and having kunai. So I want having kunai where the playhead is. So if I do this, pull this back a little bit. Let's remove snapping so I can actually shift this without it popping everywhere. Like that. So then it looks like this. Then we can trim off the edge here, and it looks, put snapping back on, so it looks something like this.
See something similar to a battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai.
So what this does is that when I say, where I literally say having one-handed, I describe everything, but then when it punches close into him and I say having kunai, timing and showing your audience on what you're talking about.
Battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai.
So I actually can trim this back a few more frames.
And having kunai.
And then, like this. Zoom in. Go like that. Take this, and we want this to be a quick zoom. We want keyframes close together.
Kunai, which is a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Similar to a battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai, which is a common reference.
So we can, yeah, 60 hours is a lot, but you like you said, you do get faster. So I want to center this a little bit. I want this to be a bit more centered so people can kind of get an idea. Now, I don't like things dead center. I like things being slightly off kilter. So if I want to bring a graphic in, if it's more to the left, I'll bring a graphic in on the right. Now, I do have an idea for a small joke here. Let's go to Google here. And let's try typing in Rhinoc Ninja. Not Ninka, Ninja. PNG. Images. Do we have a Rhinoc Ninja anywhere? Hello. Ninja Rhinox. Okay, hold on. Ninja Rhinoc. Do we have a vector anywhere? No? No? Alright. So then let's try, we'll just go Ninja PNG. Nah. How about this one? Sure. Go with this one. This one's kind of what I was looking for. So then we can go back to images. We can go to other and Ninja Master. Hit save. What's cool about this? Go here, show in folder. It's there for future use. Pull that to the side here. Go down here. Left click and drag that into here. It's a PNG. You always want a PNG because a PNG has no background. If you have something that's a JPEG, if you have a JPEG, what happens is that you actually, it doesn't really make sense. It gets dirty and full of stuff. So right away, I'm noticing something right here. So is that he's blending in a lot with this. So let's see if we can actually shift this over a little bit so he's not blending as much. Okay, so he's starting to really blend in. So let's go to effects and let's see if we can fix that. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go with a drop shadow. Now you might be thinking, okay, why would you add a drop shadow to something? Well, it's black on black on black on black. Well, let's make it white this time. Let's make it white. And now you kind of have what looks like this outlined shine so that it doesn't blend as much with the background. So now it actually has a bit of a pop to it. And I kind of like that by itself. I like that the way it is. So,
Smaller stature and having kunai, which is a common reference
to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro. Why?
Then we go because.
Reference. Why?
So I'm going to zoom out to Y. Okay. So, give me a second. Let me show you what I'm doing. So,
and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas.
So what we want to do
To
is we want the position
to ninjas.
to end there. We go to the first, we pull it off, and we get something like this.
And having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas. Which
Too slow. Pull it back. We want it to be fast because ninjas. Wah!
to ninjas. Which and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why?
So why? Right when I say because, I'm going to do something that I love doing. So I'm going to go here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is I am going to zoom back out to the regular size of the freeze frame. And then from there, I'm going to have the video continue playing seamlessly. So it's going to zoom out. As I'm zooming out, the ninja graphic is going to zip off as I'm zooming out back to the regular size. And then right when we hit back to the regular size, the video is going to continue playing seamlessly as it did before. So this is stuff that you have to think about. So how do I make sure that it's timed perfectly so we don't get something like this? So I say copy, and then let's go paste, right? So we don't get something. Let me do the zoom out first.
Which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference.
So from here, let's go back to here and here.
Why?
So we'll have it fully zoomed out here. What I can actually do is I can grab the original keyframes here. Oops, don't want to move that. Grab the original, Command C, click here, Command V, and it brings everything back. Then what I can do is I can pull this back to saying, okay, here it is. So you get something like this.
And having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why?
So why? Pull out. So when I pull out, what I want to do is I want to be lined up with right when we finish the pull out, the ninja's gone. So what I do is I go to my keyframes I made on the first one. I click my ninja. I click the position. Then I go to this frame. And when I'm telling the ninjas, I want the ninja gone by that frame. So I click that and then zip it off. So we get something like this.
And having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro is
okay, see? So
awesome reference. Why?
So I want him to restart his line here. But here's what happens if you don't have it timed correctly. There's a way to time this correctly. So let's say you do this.
And having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas.
Watch,
which is
you're going to get something that doesn't look good.
Really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to...
See? It doesn't look right. It does not look right. What you do is that see how I have the video playing and then we hit the freeze frame. Because this is this translates. So what I did was that I removed I took the freeze frame, and then what I did is I removed the first frame so that it seamlessly transitions into the freeze. So he goes, and he freezes and he stays frozen. What you do to make sure that you have your freeze frame continue to move on is this. You pull this back, and you can see that this is the exact same footage. What I did was that all I did was I took this Command C, Command V, and it's the exact same footage. What I do is that I put this underneath, because you can do it in layers, pull this out, and then put this back under. And then look, watch what happens.
Stature and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro is that
it continues seamlessly. That's the main thing. Is that it's a seamless continuation. There's no blip. There's no...
Because his tip... because his tip to Spyro is
right. So then we go back to here. Once again, Command C, Command V. Pull this up, connect this, and I know that the transition is 10 frames. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we get something like this.
or stature and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro is that he better watch his back, referring to Dr. Shemp. Now, assassins attack from the shadows and strike when the person least expects it. So attacking from the back,
we want to keep that going. Use my thing as a ninja star. I'm not taking your idea, Mecha.
from the back is common practice for an assassin. I just find it awesome that Toys for Bob is paying attention to these little details.
So then I move on to the next thing, which is here.
So attacking from the back is common practice for an assassin. I just find it awesome that Toys for Bob is paying attention to
Hey, Cartoon Gamer.
these little details. The next detail I noticed was the
So that's slightly off. We want to have it right when I start the sentence.
little details. The next detail I noticed
Like that. So what's the next detail that I apparently noticed?
little details. The next detail I noticed was the weapons that the Norks are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbuss.
Okay, so let's go to back to my footage once again, which is, that's not it, that's it. So we want to look at the exaggerated blunderbusses. So what we want to do is that we want to find a nice freeze frame here. Let's find the generic, hey Dragon Lover, how you doing? So let's find a nice freeze frame. That's a good one. These are good. These seem like good ones. Perfect. Right. That's a good one here. So what we have here is that we can see the one on the right here, we can see the one on the left here, and we can see what it looks like on both angles. So then we want to hit out, rewind a little bit, take this and grab the footage, click and drag it in here.
Like exact.
So let's go here, take a picture, and then we are going to say Nork blunder buses. Like that. That's my water bottle. Okay. Grab this, put that there. So then we get something like this.
Which look like exaggerated blunderbusses. Now, which look like.
So I want to put a graphic out. So let's go like this. So we get something like this.
For Bob is paying attention to these little details. The next detail I noticed was the weapons that the Norks are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbusses.
So
the next detail I noticed was the weapons that.
So actually I screwed this up a
that
little
the
bit.
Norks are holding here.
Here should be where the freeze frame is.
The next detail I noticed was the weapons that the Norks are holding here. So
let's go to effects, position, scale,
which look.
zoom in, but let's make sure that we can still see both characters like that. But we want to leave a little space here because we want to do a graphic.
Details. The next detail I noticed was the weapons that the Norks are holding here, which look like.
So let's wait on that zoom in. Let's have it
are holding here, which look like.
Pull it back a little bit more because we don't want. We want, if we go pause, 1, 2, go.
Here, which look like exaggerated that the Norks are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbusses. Now, I already see where this conversation is going. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor...
So what we want to do is that right here at the why is it, let's pull up the footage of Twilight Harbor where everybody's freaking out. No, we want to go to footage. We want to go to be sorted. Let's see if it's in here. There it is. The footage by Jordan Fringe. Shout out to Jordan Fringe. So this is the only footage that we have, unfortunately, which kind of sucks, but it's what we got. And it's been what's been shared around. Okay.
Are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbusses. Now, I already see where this conversation is going. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get censored and these don't? Well, it's kind of simple to see. It's kind of simple to see the difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old get censored and these don't. Well,
so let's go to the let's go here. Command C, Command V, go here, go to effects, go to video transitions. No, that's not what I want. Let's go with a cross dissolve here.
And these don't. Well, it's kind of simple to see the difference.
We don't want the zoom up anymore. So let's remove the first 2 frames of that. So we just have
don't. Well, it's kind of simple to see the difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old single fire shotgun from the 1800s that the pirates used. But in any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard some of the complaints about censorship, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. Now here complaints about censorship. In any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard.
So heard would be a good thing to cut on.
Heard. Toys for Bob has heard.
So we go like this. So I'm going to come back to this in a second. I'm going to grab this. Command C, Command V.
Toys for Bob has heard some of the complaints about censorship, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. Now here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse.
So what we're going to go with is we're going to grab 2 graphics. We're going to go with Blunderbuss PNG. What's a good one? Let's go with this one. Yeah, let's go with that. Blunderbuss render, sure. And then let's go with AK-47 PNG. Sure, we'll go with that too. Most popular weapon of all time, apparently, according to some statistics. So we go to there, we go to here, we grab a disc, we throw it in there. We grab a disc and we put it in there. So now they are in our project. So now we want to grab the blunderbuss.
Single fire. Simple censored, and these don't. Well, it's kind of simple to see the difference between an
let's go with a, because it's kind of blending into the background a little bit, let's add a drop shadow. Just a small one. Then we go to the effect of the AK-47. We can increase it from 50 to 100%. Just so that we can actually see it a little bit. Let's shrink it down in size just a little bit. And then let's take the rotation and rotate it up slightly. Pull this back like that. And then let's throw the blunderbuss on top of that.
Now, something small that I might want to do is instead of like just having them pointing in the same direction, I'm going to have them pointed like this, kind of like as if they're firing at each other.
So let's go with a flip, horizontal flip like that. Bring it out here, pull this up like that. All right, cool. All right.
Difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old single automatic to an old.
All right, like this. So then what we're going to do is we're going to throw in the movement.
To see the difference between an AK-47.
So we're going to put the position there. That's where it's going to land. We're going to press this and pull this back like that.
AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old
Go here.
Single.
Like that. Go back here and go like this. So we get something like this.
It's kind of simple to see the difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully.
Let me save this. Always save. Always save, 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 save. I haven't saved yet. Otherwise, I would have cried. The automatic to an old single-fire shotgun from the 1800s that the pirates used. But in any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard... So, but in any case... let's have the guns come off. Let's do the same here. Boom. Pull back. And then boom. Go to here. Go forward. And then go here. And pull this back that way. There we go. Okay. Back to an old single-fire shotgun from the 1800s that the pirates used. But in any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard some of the complaints about censorship, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. Now here we... Okay. So now we move on to our next segment. I was going to go... Yeah, no problem, Aspen Flame. We'll see you later. This is a lot of information, guys. I understand it. I understand, guys. All right. So next thing. See. Now here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine... So, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. This one should be easy. Very, very easy. Grab this. Gotta go to Glimmer and find that shot that we're talking about. Anyways, kids these days got war games. It's something that happens, but it's not something that people necessarily want to promote. Alright. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here to kind of entertain this a little bit. Instead of just zooming in on a gross graphic Moneybags, let's do something a bit different. So let's drop this in here. Let's try to spice this up a little bit. We'll see. Now here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine... So, let's pull this back a little bit. Let's get a little bit more in there. We'll see. Now here we see what is a very, very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine... So then what we're going to do is that we're going to pull this back a little bit more. We're going to get right here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do this. We're going to do this like that. Then what we're going to take this, Command C, Command V, pull this back. And what we're going to do is that we're actually going to zoom in a little bit on this so we can actually see kind of a motioned Moneybags a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat it again. Then we're going to repeat it one more time. And what we're going to do on the last one is that we're actually going to slow it down. So we have this tool called the rate stretch tool, which I love. All you do is you click it and you drag and you want to say, I want it to be this long. And then it will slow it down to that length for you. So here we go. Glimpse at Moneybags. And call him blurry face. No. At Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. So what we're going to do is that we're going to actually remove one of those bypasses because that was too much. So let's make it like that, and then let's slow this down even further. Here we go. Blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that really determine my can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight power-up right here. So, we are almost done. We're getting there, people. We're almost done. Thank you for everyone who's been tuning in, who's been, sticking it out with me. I know this is a lot. I know it's big, but I just wanted to show you guys so you guys can understand and get the amount of work that gets put into these videos. These are not slapped together and sent off very quickly. These things are invested. There's a lot of time put into it. There's a lot of work made for these videos. They're not so simple. So the next bit is, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless. So what I noticed here is that we don't see Moneybags for this half. So let's remove that bit and then let's slow this down even more.
Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight power.
So let's go back to, once again here, let's zoom forward to a good angle of that limitless flight here. So that's a good angle there. That's fairly good, but I think there's a better one later on. So let's see here. Actually, no, there's not. That one's good. That's a nice front-on shot. So here we go. So that's good. That will do. That will do. So once again, out, rewind, in, grab the footage, drop it in. Okay.
Power up right here.
Right here. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drag this out to here. So I'm going to start speeding up now and explaining a bit less. Will we be able to watch this video tomorrow? You will be able to see this video tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Finally completed. So see, we go here. It doesn't take long to render, trust me. It doesn't take long to render on my computer, at least. Go here. And then we're going to call this Flight Power Up. Drop that into there. So we get something like this.
At least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight power up right here. Up right.
So right here.
Here.
So when we say here, we say it's there. Zoom it in here. Now, I want to leave a space on the left here because I want to bring in the picture of the Idle Springs power up in to do a comparison. Like, hey, let's take a look. This has been so cool. How long did it take you to learn all the editing? Well, I've been editing for 8 years, and I went to school for 3 years for professional editing and editorial. So, and I've been doing it professionally for 2 years. So, I did it for 6 years. No, I did it for 4 years. Went to school for 3 years, and then do it professional for 2 years. So it's in that range. So it takes a long time. But this is why I want to show you guys so that all the learning curves, everything. What about the stream? The stream will be able to work. Will be archived, and then you'll be able to watch it later. So yes, you'll be able to watch this video later for future reference.
Know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the limitless flight power up right here.
A little fast there. So let's take this and pull this out just a little bit.
Right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power-up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and bland because it had no particle effects at all. But now, we can see that particle effects galore has been jammed onto the power-up effects, and it looks really good. Now, the next little detail
Okay, so this is actually going to be really easy. This one's going to be really, really, really easy. So we got this, and we just sit there for a little bit, but that's okay, because all we need to do is go to 12 minutes of Ripto's Rage. Let's find a nice clear shot of that power-up, which is right there. What'd you miss? You missed about 2 hours of editing. All right. Actually, we don't even need to do that. What's cool is that we can take a snapshot from something within the edit and click export frame, so we don't have to drag anything, and I just want the frame. I just want that. I can just grab that. So old power up like that. Grab this, plop that on top, grab this, scale it up, pull it over. Now I want to see more of the power up, but look, it's overlapping. I don't want that. That's very easy to fix. You go to effects, erase. You click crop, you drop it on top, and guess what? You can remove that. So that now you can actually be like, hey, this is what works. And then I can actually adjust this. Then take this, shrink it down, pull it over. So we want to try to keep it at around the same size so that one is not dominating another. So I just noticed another detail now. I'm not going to be adding it to the video though, but that's cool. So one of the details I just realized now is that legit, like legit, they're not the same. They're not the same design. It's not just two random spires of electricity and the power up in the middle. They're literally being adjusted for each level. So this one's for glimmer, this one's got the gems, and then this one's got the. That's really neat. I just noticed that now. That's awesome. But I am not going to re-edit and revoice my video for that detail, even though it's really cool. Hey, hey Rogers, how you doing? All right, so here we go. That's about good. So we go like this.
Power up right here. Once again, another complaint. Power up right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they.
Oh, you see something? You see something here? Do you see? I made a mistake here. So I shifted this slightly, and you notice how now, as I play through
Another
it,
complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power up
it's
from Idle
moving.
Springs.
That's because I made a mistake, and I moved one of the keyframes over here. So I actually have to move this keyframe here, and I actually have to remove another one of the keyframes. I have to remove this keyframe specifically, remove that, pull this, and have it line up like this. So
Right here. Once again,
there
another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the
when we saw the power
up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and.
So then what we do is we go like this. Thank you, Rogers. Thank you for saying that I'm cool.
Power up from Idle.
So then we want this to stay. No, we don't want that. What we want is
Power up from Idle.
we want that to be here. We want to do this, and we want to pull this to the side like this. So we get something like this.
Is the limitless flight power up right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power up from Idle Springs.
Touch slow, just a touch, not by much, just a touch. Pull this back a touch.
Power up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and bland because it had no particle effects at all. But now we can see that
Yeah, that's a great detail from Toys for
particle
Love that
effects
they're doing that.
galore has been.
Now what we want to do is that.
But now we
want to remove the old power up.
can see that
And we can remove that. Then what we can also do to also show this is that what we want to do is my name is Ive. Well, nice to meet you, Ive. So what I want to do is I want this to shift over to become more center screen, but I want to shift at the same time, the same timing as the other image shifts off. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to here, which is the first keyframe to start from moving the image off. And I'm going to create a new keyframe here. Then when I get to here, I want this to be positioned about there. Maybe pull down a touch and like that. So we get something that looks like this.
is the limitless flight when they saw the power up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and bland because it had no particle effects at all. But now we can see that particle effects galore has been jammed onto the.
Now, actually, I don't like the fact that it goes down. I don't like that. So 637, 943, 940. Now you can do this by numbers, by sheer numbers. I don't like the down because it doesn't look too smooth. IV, gotcha.
Now we can see that particle effects galore has been jammed onto the power-up effects, and it looks really good. Now the next little detail I noticed here is that there is an NPC here with a green.
So next we want to do is that we're talking about the NPC. So let's fast forward here. So let's do it right here. This is a nice clear image of it. There we go. In, rewind, out, grab the footage, put it here.
Is that there is an NPC here with the detail I noticed here is that there is an NPC
and then we'll zoom in on here.
Jammed onto the power-up effects, and it looks really good. Now the next little detail I noticed here is that there is.
So let's go to the end here. Grab this and go NPC orb. Gotcha. Well, let's go with that. And throw that right on top right there.
NPC here. NPC here.
Let's reduce the time a little bit so that we can actually zoom in on the here. That there is an NPC. So we go like this, grab the effect, position scale
here.
like this, zoom in, pull over, pull up like that. So we can actually see right here.
Here is that there is an NPC here with a green orb above their head. Now, we can of course assume that this means that this is a mission where you can get an orb. But this might be a marker where it tells you you already got the orb from this mission, which I think is actually neat, because there were a few times where from this mission, which I think is actually neat.
Now, this is actually where we can actually go back to here and show footage of Spyro getting the orb here.
These two, there's so many different. I mean, we were talking about
Go back to here.
capybaras, foremen,
Make this
Ice
nice and clean.
monsters.
ice monsters.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Now I know there's ice monsters.
There are ice
Thanks,
monsters.
guy.
There we go. Grab that. And I thought editing was easy. Yeah, editing is not easy at all. Not at all. It's not straightforward. There's so much complications and everything. So then let's say we drag this out a little bit. So we get something like this.
Already got the orb from this mission, which I think is actually neat, because there were a few times where you would revisit a world to get a few gems, you redo a gem challenge, and only to realize you already got it. I'm not sure if that's a feature or not, but I think it would be cool. The next detail I noticed is that the little gem cutter here says something a tad...
Right. So now we can go. We're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the home stretch. We got 3:52. We got less than a minute. Less than a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Hang in there. Less than a minute for video. Then we're going to drop in the audio. And then it's ready to go. So, please, we're almost done, people. We're almost done. All right.
Only to realize you already got it. I'm not sure if that's a feature or not, but I think it would be cool. The next detail I noticed is that the little gem cutter...
And then actually, after that, we will show how to make a good thumbnail, if you guys want to stick around for that.
Cutter here says something a tad different from before. See, in the...
So let's go here. No. Why am I not thinking straight? There we go. Like that. We'll go like that. Grab this. The orbs might have been changed. We're not sure. We'll have to see.
Classic game, you actually had to hold... Gem cutter here says something a tad different from before. See, in the classic game, you actually had to hold the triangle button to aim. But
now what we're going to do is that we're actually going to zoom in on this. Grab this. Zoom in on... Hey, John. Zoom in on text. Like that. Grab this. Throw us right there. Fill this in with the previous footage.
got it. I'm not sure if that's a feature or not, but I think it would be cool. The next detail I noticed is that the little gem cutter here says something a tad different from before. See, in the classic game, you actually had to hold the triangle button to aim. But now, it's telling you to just...
So what we're going to do is that we're going to zoom in here.
Just press...
Pull this up a little bit.
Which could mean a slight control scheme change. Instead of having to have to hold the triangle button, you just tap it, which I am cool with, and you likely will just have to tap it again to toggle back. The last detail I noticed...
Alright. The last detail I noticed. The last detail. The last detail. Let's go to the video footage. Go to this bit here. The last detail. So it's Dry Canyon that we want to see. How cool designs every... Yes, I do actually. I think they will, and I think that's a really neat idea. I like that idea that they'll... The last detail I noticed is the big... So we can do this. Go back one. Big Mamas. So we're going to take this, put this here. The last detail I grab this, pull this back one frame because there's a blip there. The last detail I noticed is the big. So we're going to grab this, go to Effect Controls. Big. Like this. Zoom in. Don't forget to save. You know what? You're right. You are very right. Let's do that now. The last detail I noticed is the Big Mama. Let's go. Yeah. Let's take the final frames. Let's take these. Pull this out slightly. Grab this. Pull out slightly and go. Big Mama's back here. Taserfication! Thank you for the $2 donation. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Save! Yes, I did. Thank you. Thank you so much. Back. The last detail I noticed is the Big Mama's back here, right by their pots. And they still look ugly. The last detail... So let's see. I noticed is the Big Mamas back here right by their pots, and they still look ugly as ever. Anyway, guys, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to continue the footage that I had. Grab this, Command C, do this like I showed you before. We're going to do this like that, do this. We're going to end it like this, showing off all the different footage. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do in this gap here. We're actually going to go like this, pull it back out, go all the way to here, like that. Actually, no, not like that, sorry. And remove these, grab the first ones like that. Nope, don't want to do that. Command C, go here, Command V. So then we get something like this to toggle back. The last detail I noticed is the Big Mamas back here right by their pots, and they still look ugly as ever. Anyway, guys, that's all the details that I noticed. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra. Footage visually is officially done, but we're not quite finished yet. We're almost there though. So let's go. Let's find. We grab my audio. We drop that here. My background music. Command C. Actually, no. Let's go here. Go minus 28 because it needs to be minus 28 because it's loud right up front. Let's trim this bit off at the end. Go to here. Go Command C. Drop that down. Pull this back. Go like this. Effects. Audio transitions. Remove the crop thing there. Audio transitions. Constant power. So now what happens is that it just fades in between the two. It's just a nice little fade. Just a fade. Then when we do the bars and tone, we obviously make sure that nothing is playing. And now we pretty much have just about a completed video. So let's take a watch through. So here we go. You guys are about to get a sneak peek
of our sneak peek. You're about to watch the video for tomorrow. So let's take a listen, shall we? I hope you'll tune in tomorrow to watch it, just in case if I make any adjustments. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con? In fact, here, let's make this a little bit better for you guys. Maximize frame. What little details and hints did we miss from the Spyro Comic-Con footage? Let's find out. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and the other day, the footage from the whole panel at Comic-Con dropped as I was walking through the door from my trip in Ohio. Some of the footage has been seen and leaked before, but it was through a handheld camera. But as I was going through it, there were some details that I noticed. So right off the hop, there was a small detail that a good friend of mine, NWDN Shadowclaw, pointed out. When they were showing off Spyroscope and how it worked, in the top left corner, it says the project file. Don't worry, when you see it, this is what it's going to look like in the final version. Name. And the project is called Falcon Game. Some of you might be slightly confused, unless you are a veteran to this channel. But back when we were in the Spyro Detective days, the official Spyro account was disguised. Once again, as, like I said, it's all low res right now. When it renders out, it's high res. Falcon McBob. When we looked at the Voice Actors Guild on their website, we saw that there was a project under Activision's banner called Falcon. So, the project file that's been used is something small, but really cool to think back to. The next thing I wanted to point out was Trondor. See how he's got these scars, a knife, a big rack of teeth, and other miscellaneous weaponry? Well, it was said that the dragons in the artisan's world would be artists. So, we can assume that in the Peacekeepers, they will be fighters and warriors. So, Trondo is now what seems to be something similar to a battle-torn assassin due to his one-handed blade, smaller stature, and having kunai, which is a common reference to ninjas, which is actually a really awesome reference. Why? Because his tip to Spyro is that he better watch his back, referring to Dr. Shump. Now, assassins attack from the shadows and strike when the person least expects it. So attacking from the back is common practice for an assassin. I just find it awesome that Toys for Bob is paying attention to these little details. The next detail I noticed was the weapons that the Norks are holding here, which look like exaggerated blunderbusses. Now, I already see where this conversation is going. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get censored and these don't? Well, it's kind of simple to see the difference. So I'm going to adjust the timing on that just a little bit. I'm going to adjust that. So looking back on this, I kind of want to do something like this. So the cross is all there is. 1 second. Where this conversation is going. Yeah. So we're just going to pull this back like that. Pull this forward. And then put the fade back in right. You'll see what I'm going for in a second. Well, and these don't. Well, it's kind of simple to... Let's actually reduce the fade here. Let's make it half, 12. There we go. There we go. You see where this conversation is going. Yes, I get it. Why is it that the Twilight Harbor guns get censored and these don't? Well, it's kind of simple to see the difference between an AK-47 that's actually fully automatic to an old single-fire shotgun from the 1800s that the pirates used. But in any case, perhaps Toys for Bob has heard some of the complaints about censorship, and we might see a change in the Twilight Harbor. We will see. Now here we see what is a very, very blurry glimpse at Moneybags. Can't really determine my opinion on it, but hey, at least we know that he's there. Another detail here that I noticed is the Limitless Flight power-up right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the... I'm going to make another, did you add a pic of that weapon blunderbuss thing? Yes, I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to restore frame size. I'm going to do something before I actually... Power up from idle spring. What I'm going to do is something a bit different. So you see early, like later on here we have... Now we can see that particle effects... It kind of goes back.
So what we're going to do is that we're going to take this frame here. We're going to adjust this a little bit, actually. Take this frame here. What we're going to do is we're going to go
Right here.
from there. We're going to go like that. We're going to remove this frame, pull this forward
Here. Once
and then what we're going to do is that we're going to once again
another. Now we can see that part.
remove this, put that there. No, we don't want that. We actually don't want that. We want
Right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power-up from Idle.
so what we want to do is that we want to go from here to here. Grab that. Put that back down. Go to here. Remove this. Pull this back to here. So we zoom. So we
here.
zoom in like that. Then what we want to do is that we want this. We want this and this to be the same so that it shifts over as. Okay, so I'm place back again. Just double check this worked.
Here that I noticed is the limitless flight power-up right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power-up from Idle Springs.
See how it like all shifts kind of together? So it's not just one slides in, it all like shifts over. It's like a whole content shift. Okay. Oh, whatever. Very little details is what makes it very different.
Right here. Once again, another complaint has been addressed that a lot of people put forward when they saw the power-up from Idle Springs. People found that it was dull and bland because it had no particle effects at all. But now, we can see that particle effects galore has been jammed onto the power-up effects, and it looks really good. Now, the next little detail I noticed here is that there is an NPC here with a green orb above their head. Now, we can of course assume that this means that this is a mission where you can get an orb. But this might be a marker where it tells you you already got the orb from this mission, which I think is actually neat, because there were a few times where you would revisit a world to get a few gems, you redo a gem challenge, and only to realize you already got it. I'm not sure if that's a feature or not, but I think it would be cool. The next detail I noticed is that the little gem cutter here says something a tad different from before. See, in the classic game, you actually had to hold the triangle button to aim, but now it's telling you to just press it, which could mean a slight control scheme change. Instead of having to hold the triangle button, you just tap it, which I am cool with, and you likely will just have to tap it again to toggle back. The last detail I noticed is the big mamas back here right by their pots, and they still look ugly as ever. Anyway guys, that's all the details that I noticed. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra.
Okay, so we're almost done. We're just about finished this whole thing. Say, before we export, we have to look for something. We have to look for something, a great image from this whole thing. What is a great image for this whole video? Let's take a look. So we want something with very little motion blur. So let's go back to the footage here. We want something with very little motion blur, but something that displays Spyro. Give me a second to find it. This is actually pretty good right here. I like this. Hey, Destination Mark, how you doing? So I like this image, this shot right here. So what am I going to do with this? What am I possibly going to do with all this? Well, I'm going to take a snapshot of this and call this... There is a slight problem here. Hold on a second. There is a slight problem here. This one's good. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. We're gonna call this one. We're gonna call this one Spyro. We're gonna call this San Diego Comic-Con Thumb Base. Great. So now, thumbnail. Yes, thumbnail. Perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna like this. We're gonna go to here. We're gonna click File. Export media. We're simply going to call it San Diego Comic-Con panel footage. And then we are going to go to bitrate. We want to have a higher bitrate so we can have a higher quality video. So we will go with CBR, not VBR. We want CBR. Go to 15. Because you can see right here, estimated file size happens right here. So usually I always... try aiming around 500 megabytes per a megabyte per minute, and I usually go a little bit higher. So if it's 5 minutes, I'll go 600 megabytes, just so it's a bit of a higher quality video. So San Diego panel footage, that's good. It's got everything, and all you gotta do, I have it as H.264, so it's easier for uploading. If you want to do a master, you want to go with a QuickTime, but the problem is QuickTimes are so big and massive, there's no point. So make sure that your 1080p, 1080p, 19 by 20 1080p, match source, beautiful. And all you do is you click export. So while that's exporting, this whole project is going to take about 2 minutes to export because my computer is thick. We're going to go to Photoshop. We're going to go to create new. Now this is something that a lot of people do, and this is something that I need to really need to let people know, because a lot of people don't know this. Don't make your thumbnails in 1920 by 1080p. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me, I know. Do not make your thumbnails in 1920 by 1080p. Make it by 3840 by 2160. That is 2K or 4K, depending on how you look at it, but it's 2K. Okay? 2K. The reason why is that when you have a higher K or a higher resolution, okay, and make your pixels 300 pixels by square inch. When you have a higher resolution, your colors are so much brighter, they're so much better, and everything just pops better. Everything is just better. Trust me, when you make your thumbnails, do it that size. So, San Diego Comic-Con panel footage breakdown. I don't know. Thumb. And click create. So now we have this. So we're going to go file, open, and we're going to go to YouTube, images, Spyro, Now it's all in here. We're going to look for thumb base. So it's going to pull up to here. I'm going to grab this. Go to here. Drop that down. Now you're going to see, because this was shot in 1080, right? It's going to be a bit smaller, but that's okay. All you got to do is grab this, edit, free transform, and do this. Now I'm going to teach you something else. And this is something that was literally, and I wish I was exaggerating, I'm not, hammered into my head. It is called the rule of thirds. If there's one thing from my whole entire live stream video that you need to know, is the rule of thirds. Now, I actually already see the rule of thirds because I've been doing it for so long, but let me explain. Let me go to Googler, and let me explain. Rule of thirds. Perfect. A rule of thirds is a thing for photos. If you look at a photo, a beautifully perfect photographic photo will follow the rule of thirds. Do you see these 4 points here? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is where your main subject should be, because scientifically proven, the human eye looks at these 4 points subconsciously before your brain even registers that there's an image there. Your eyes look at these 4 points before you even see anything. Your brain looks at that and sends information, okay? Most images that you see will follow the professional photography, will likely follow some form of rule of thirds. Your subject should fit in these at least one, okay? Rule of thirds, okay? Rule of thirds, okay? Rule of thirds, rule of thirds. This was hammered into my head over and over. Secret Life of Walter Williams. Guess what? Bang. Rule of thirds, okay? This one's a bit off. This one's off. You see? The dog does not meet any 4 of these points. The dog's a bit off, okay? Cat, bang, hits directly one of the points of thirds, okay? Once again, bang. And this has been scientifically proven. Bang, bang. These are all things. So, like this. This is another point, okay? This is hitting the left points of view, right? Once again, hitting the right points of view. Hitting the 2. See, subject, this is perfect. The subject is in 1 point, and then the barn is in another point. 2 points is good. 1 point at least, 2 points is good. So, let's take a look at, why am I getting so much stuff on Discord? I'll have to check that out later. Anyway, so, now, let's go back to here. Oh yeah, by the way, the video is finished rendering. So, now, let's go to here. Spyro is dead center, but the rule of thirds is approximately here, 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 and here. So at the moment, the only thing that's hitting the rule of thirds, okay, is this building. That's any interest at all. So what do we want to do? We want Spyro to at least hit one of the rule of thirds, at least one. So let's take this image and stretch it out to here. Okay, so now Spyro's hitting one of the rule of thirds. But the problem is that, well, what's all this? What's all this? This is all bad. And Spyro is small. What do we do? Very simple. Free transform. Let's make Spyro bigger. Okay, and now you also want to take a look at your thumbnail when it's small, because this is how people see it. This is how people sees the thumbnail. They're not going to see it like this. Like, what, you're going to make a beautiful thumbnail and everything, and then you're going to zoom out, and it's going to look like a cluttered piece of crap. Okay? You need to, because this is how people see it.
This is how people see your image. Now, Americans is going to read things most likely left to right, reading. So we look here and we go to read something. Well, we see Spyro. So let's do this. You're right. Okay, actually, you know what? Live streaming, you're right. You're like, oh, but The Rocks is boring. You're right. It is. So let us, give me a second here. What should we put the text here? Let's call this text. So this is where you put text. You put text over boring stuff. That's where you put your other rule of thirds. So watch. Let's go with Spyro Comic-Con panel. You can't see it right now. Give me a second. Footage breakdown. Or instead of breakdown, let's go with, because it's 2 words, breakdown, analysis. It's a smaller word. Okay. Let's take this, free transform, and do. So now that boring rocks are now being used for the text. So let's take Spyro a little bit here. Pull it forward. Or to the left a little bit, so we're still in that rule of thirds area. Let's pull this up. Like that. So we wanted to try... Let's remove... How does one join Canadian Guy's Discord? If somebody from my Discord is on, could they please share it? Comic Con. Nope. Comic Con. So we want to go like this. Where'd you get that font? I found it on the interwebs. So, there we go. So now, we want... Why do I make my text so large? Once again, like I mentioned before. See here? If I look at this, like this is how I'm seeing it. I am not seeing it. And this is something that drives me nuts, is people don't do this. Okay, people are not going to see the footage, the image like this. I'll throw the Discord on it afterwards. I'll do it after. Okay, you're not going to see the footage like this, the image like this. You're going to see it like this. That's how you're going to see it. Because 54% of my videos are seen through a mobile phone. And it drives me nuts when people have this over-cluttered and over-littered thumbnail. Because when you zoom it out, it looks like garbage. It does. It looks like crap. So I have a pre-made gallery thing for my logo here, where all I do is I just click my text, I click my library, and boom! We got this beautiful... I love this. Right? I love this. It's got the outline, it's got the color, it's got everything. Everything I want. With the drop shadow and everything. Excuse me. So, we zoom out, and look, I can still read this. Spyro Comic-Con footage analysis. You can still read this, no problem. And also, for me, personally, now, every person is different at making thumbnails. Every person is different, okay? Every single person is completely different. But my rule of thumb is simpler is always better. Because you just want people to realize, bang, that's Spyro. Bang, Spyro Comic-Con footage analysis. They know immediately, as soon as they see my thumbnail, what is going on. So, how do you make the letters pop out like that? It is, you use a drop shadow. So what you do is that you have a stroke here, a stroke, and then you have the drop shadow here. That's it. And then you just angle the light downwards. So once again, and it doesn't matter if the footage looks blurry at this size. Nobody's going to care because everyone's just going to see it like this. So if you want to learn something, please, please, please learn to make good thumbnails. That's something huge. That's what helps you get clicks. That's what helps you do better. So now, Spyro PNGs. Let's see here. That's not what I wanted. Spyro Remaster Graphics. Here we go. So we also want to people to know right away. We see, okay, we have a logo here, my PNG logo of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Take this, drag that into here. We go up to here. I always usually do this for all my Spyro videos. I put Spyro Reignited Trilogy in the top left corner, right there. So people know right away when they see it. Bang, right there, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Drop shadow, right there. Let's adjust the drop shadow a little bit. Undo that. Let's not do that. Go back to here. Drop shadow. And then guess what? Don't use global light for this one, because global light is like, all of it is affected. You don't want this one to be affected by the same one. You want to do that. You want to lower the distance just a little bit. Make a little size a little bit longer, so you still get that drop shadow, but it's like more flared out. So you still have that drop shadow though. And then boom, there you go. You have your thumbnail. So people know right away. Bang! Right? Spyro Comic-Con. So even if, okay, they don't see even if they don't see, now, you know what? You can do something else, actually. You can do something even better. Let's take this graphic, okay? Let's take this, and let's grab this and pull this over like this. Something like this. Then we grab the erase tool, which I still use, and just erase. Now with the drop shadow too, if you have drop shadow on this, if you miss a pixel, you can see because there'll be a random shadow. Just go like that. Okay, there we go. So that's all done. Go to here, take this, pull this over. Because I have the logo. Why would I want to type out Spyro? So, erase that. Grab this, pull this over. And then I can even make this even bigger. So go like this, pull this out. I see there's a little fleck I missed. That's okay. Go like that. Take the erase tool. Go like that. Zooming out. So now people know right away, bang, this is Spyro, right away. Spyro, Comic-Con footage analysis. We can take the text here, pull it down a little bit, just so there's a bit more of a space. There we go. So now we have this thumbnail. Now, there is something that we're going to do, because humans, and now I did all this editing, you might be like, but you're about to change it, and I am about to change it for one quick little thing. I'm going to explain why in 1 second. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to merge the layers together so that this is all one thing. I'm going to drag this and pull it over to here. Now you might be like, Canadian guy, why are you doing this? You're covering Spyro now. What are you doing? Simple. Edit. Transform. Flip horizontal. Not horizontal. There we go. Make sure that Spyro is in the rule of thirds still. Now you're going to be like, okay, Canadian, why did you do that? It's actually very, very straightforward. Is that humans read, and especially in North America, there's only very few areas where my audience is in North America. So that means that I should try to, and Europe and everything, and most things are appeased. People read from left to right. So if you put text on the left side of the screen, people are going to see that immediately first. And the first thing that they see is they read left side, top to bottom. And guess what? Top thing that they see is Spyro. Comic-Con footage analysis. And then they look over and see Spyro. And there he is. Simply flipping the footage, flipping the thumbnail will do that. So now people look from left to right. They see, oh, something on the left side. Start from the top. Spyro. That's the first thing. That is how little details like that can help you figure out your thumbnail and how to create them for your videos. So that is actually it. The video is done. Hey, Audrey, the live stream is finished. We have just finished making a video. You guys have seen the video from the ground up. I'm not going to show you uploading it because, you know, That's the simplest part. It's just going upload, tag, title, and that's it. You're done. So, thank you so much for everybody who donated and joined the stream, got to watch me edit, got to see some insight and background. Don't worry, this stream is being archived, so you can actually watch it back. So you can actually see, it's like a tutorial. It's like a large-scale tutorial. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this. You guys can do this. You guys can do this. All of you can do this, okay? And I use tools that I paid for, but you can use for photo editing. You can use Pixlr, which is a web-based editor that is free, okay? Then you have other editors. When you have other editors, you have DaVinci Resolve, Avid One. You have all these different types of free editors that you can use, okay? Then, notice me before leaving. You have been noticed, Toad B100. So, and then you can even use anything else. Please notice me. Yes, Heart K1 with the crash thing. Having a hard time pronouncing. But that was how you make it. You put it all together like this. Okay? And it starts from little blocks and builds on top. And you can keep going. The music, the everything is built from the ground up, and you guys can see how it happens. Notice me. Hi, Gage. You've been noticed. You guys are all amazing, and you guys all have the potential to do this. You guys all have the potential to make these videos for free. That's the best part. You can do it for free. These programs down here, the 4K video downloader, free. Okay, 4K music downloader, free. Okay, Pixlr. I will not notice you, Panda Fights. Okay, Pixlr, web-based for thumbnails, free for editing. Okay, it's not as diverse as Photoshop, but it's there. Okay, Audacity, audio editing, free. DaVinci Resolve, free. It's all free. Every single piece that you can do this. You can all do this. Just as good as me. Just as good. Okay? So, you don't need Premiere. Premiere helps. Trust me, it does. But I'm paying for it. But you can do this all for free. So, anyway, guys. Thank you. Taserfication. Not only were you noticed, notice me. Thank you, Taserfication, for the $2 donation. I really, really appreciate it. So, no problem, Gage. I hope that you can improve and do better. You guys all can do this. Every single one of you. Follow the details. If there's something that is bothering you, fix it. Try your best to fix it. Work the extra hour to fix that little 1 second. These little things are what make a video editor good as a person and a video editor great. Is not just little, like, oh, well, who cares if there's little mistakes made? No, fix them. Do better. Improve. Keep working. And keep doing it. And what will happen is that when you keep fixing those things, when you watch through the first time, you will catch those things. You will catch them immediately instead of having to go through and watch it 4 times and then determine whether or not you need to do it. No, fix it right away. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate for the donations. Taserfication, thank you so much. And you guys are all amazing. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys come back for our next time's live stream, which is going to be on Thursday. We're going to be on a live stream on Thursday. We're going to be doing Dawn of the Dragon from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is your Eternal Night stream here? Yes, it is. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're starting Dawn of the Dragon! Woo! All right, guys. Take care, and have a good night. Bye-bye.